All right, Shalom. This is Power Thumb of the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So before I begin, I want to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushua, Ba'asham, Chakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone that rule well. Also to the elder high priest, the top of my apostles and elders. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So I want to start here in Psalms 33 and 10. All right. Get some precepts, play a video, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect. And it reads, Psalms 33 and 10, Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, in the thoughts of his heart to all generations. So the will of the Lord, the will of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushua, will be done, which is contained in the Bible. All right, the future prophecies of the Israelites ruling forever, all right, and ultimately getting the victory over you Edomites, you so-called white people. There is no type of effort you can put in to upset prophecy. All right, so all the counsel of the heathen, you non-Israelites, starting with you so-called white people, are going to come to naught. All right. You're only allowed to do what Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua has prescribed, all right, for you to do. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. And his ultimate device is this fourth industrial revolution, this Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies, capped off with the MOTB, right? Which is written in Revelation 13 and 16. Okay, the mark, the charagma, that RFID C-HIP. Okay, this is Psalms 37 and 12. The wicked plotted against the just. Who is the wicked? You Edomites. Who are the just? Us Israelites. All right, and gnashed upon him with his teeth, and that's what Esau does. He's the accuser of the brethren. He paints, all right, the Israelites as being the problem of the earth, when he's the main problem of the earth. Yes, the Israelites in this heathen state of mind, all right, this Gentile state of mind, not having this truth, are a problem. And the Lord is going to deal with them according to the prophecies. But the main problem of the earth are you Edomites, and you're plotting against the just. The main plot is to get your birthright back. And the way that you figure you would do that is by giving the Israelites this RFID chip, or killing them, right? That ain't gonna work. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his days is coming. All right, for he seeth that his day is coming. So Esau, your so-called white man, day of judgment is coming. This is justice. This is the day that we as Israelites we look for, because the so-called white man is getting away, with all types of wickedness. Okay, the main atrocities to the planet Earth has been done by the so-called white man, and is being done by the so-called white man. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. All right, so we understand that this truth is ultimately going to be demonized. Even the movements that our people have had to, receive justice, they have been demonized. But ultimately, this truth, now, every step of the way, Esau has found a way to, come up against us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans when we speak of any type of justice, but especially this truth. All right, they want to slay such as be of an upright conversation. The scriptures also say that they will make a man or offender for a word. So we coming into the time of the demonization of this truth, a truth period. So especially this truth that exposes Esau, the so-called white man, for who he truly is, right? So he can't have this going out. So it's going to be a famine of the word. During the famine of the word, the doors of mercy will be super thin. All right, super thin, to where if you don't get this word now, you're going to be left out to be destroyed. Okay, we understand that there will be beheadings for not consenting. All right, to the image of the beast, which includes the MOTB. All right, his system and his ways. Okay, which is total control. All right, it will be lawful to execute those that don't take the MOTB. Right, verse 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So Esau, the so-called white man, ultimately gonna hurt himself. He's hurting himself. All right. The MOTB is his last hurrah, and after that, his kingdom will be destroyed in World War III. His whole power structure, and he's going into slavery. He's bringing on his own demise. All right. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many. So let's go over here to this video, which it is on redacted. This is 3 months ago. World exclusive intel agencies using you can read that word, to control human thought. Havana syndrome link. And we know that Esau wants to control human thought because he has a God complex. All right. Let's get that real quick. This is Ezekiel 28:2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, which apply to Esau today. All right. And it applied to the prince of Tyrus back then. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God. In what seat does God sit in? Total control. In the midst of the seas, yea, thou art a man and not God. Though thou set thy heart as the heart of God, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So Esau has studied history. All right, he's went into witchcraft. He's went into science, okay, math. All right, he knows how to connect, how to connect the internet. He got the internet, got this technology. So pretty much Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given Esau this high level, okay, on the left hand side, intel and intellect, okay. That's why he's able to go and create a nuclear bomb, an atom bomb. All right. Because the Lord gave him, he lifted him up. All right. Let's go here to 2 Thessalonians 2. And let's see. And 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So this is a demonic system that these so-called white people are setting up, which are the Edomites, with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? A lying wonder, signs and power can go into the technology to make a blind man see, all right, to make a deaf man hear, to make a paraplegic walk or grab again, right? To be able to have a interface with the internet, all right, without a cell phone or some type of screen, okay, to be able to communicate without talking, right? That's the power of the Lord, right? Through the Spirit, we can hear the Lord speaking. Okay, do this, do that. It's inside our conscious and our subconscious, right? Esau is he's from the Lord, been given this power on a minute level. Right? And he's figured out a way to tap into that. Well, the Lord, gave him the wisdom to tap into that, or the left hand power to tap into that. I say wisdom. I change wisdom because the scripture says the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Right? So what he has is the knowledge of wickedness on the left hand side, which goes all the way back to the serpent, okay, in the garden wanting the power of the Lord, all right, of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. In order to be saved, okay, you can't bow down to the system. You can't take the MOTB in your forehead or your right hand, okay? But he's going to come with that deception, as this is convenient, all right? And this is going to bring peace to society, which is not, all right? Everything the so-called white man does, he deceived the people in doing it, and it ends up being to their own demise, right? Let's get this real quick. Let me see. This is Revelation 20, and let's see. Okay. Let me see real quick. This see Mark. All right, let's see real quick. All right, there you go. So this is Revelation 19 and 20. And the beast was taken, meaning these Edomites. The whole power structure is going to be destroyed. All right, starting with the dragon, which is modern day Rome, America. And with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. All right, the MOTB, should I say. Right, so it's the deception that's coming with the MOTB. It's not going to be, this is the MOTB spoken of in the book of Revelation, and if you take it, you're going to be destroyed, but this is for your own benefit. No, he's not going to do it like that. He's going to deceive you. All right, he's going to bring it in through order out of chaos. Okay, and them that worship his image, and you receive this MOTB, you worship the image. You follow, you believe in the system, all right? His idea of the world, his philosophy. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And this is not hell. This is talking about Esau being destroyed during this World War III, all right? This nuclear destruction. So give me a second. All right, so Salakia, let's go to the video now.
Telepathy is how their communication, instead of using traditional drop boxes or digital assets, and wait, he was the head of operations, and what he disclosed to us is that this phenomenon, this Havana syndrome, AHI, remember in our last show we talked about the agents, CIA agents, FBI agents talking about hearing these auditory symptoms.
Right, I want to say fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, this is for educational purposes only.
Our diplomats and some congressional members. What he disclosed, that this is a communication system that not only MI6 assets and agents are asked by their superiors to take on. And he says it's a form of synthetic telepathy is how their communication, instead of using traditional drop boxes or digital assets and other ways and forms of communications, he says this was the preferred method. And the reason he said it was preferred method, because if they were in front of an adversary or they were being surveilled, that this would be a very, very discreet, plausible deniability way of communicating and exchanging information, getting orders, and what are they to do next. What he also disclosed is that if an agent does not follow orders or falls out of line, that it is a multifaceted system and then becomes a torture device. And this is what happened to him. And he demanded with his superiors at a certain point in this experience that they stop the communication.
So imagine Shark Tank, right? But without the cameras, and you get your master's degree simply by launching your own business. That's basically one day. They're the world's only program where you can get your MBA simply by
requests to know.
Yeah, so real quick, this technology has telepathy power in it to communicate from person to person, all right, using different signals, right? So the body will become a transmitter, right? You can look up the word transmitter. It's pretty much they're putting technology in people, right? And the apostles, the brothers, the elders been going into this. All right, you got the G word right there in the under the description. All right, the title of the video, the GO, all right, which was in the jump shot, which is small machines, which turns the human body, all right. It's complex, but over time it turns the human body into a live transmitter, all right, putting off signals to receive inputs and outputs, right? Crazy. Okay, just like a radio, right? Your ass is a walking, talking radio that can be controlled. Now they say it got two functions, right? It can be a communication device, or it can be used to torture you. All right, and I want to go here to 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 19. Salakia, I'm gonna start at verse 68. I'm gonna start at 67. Behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities. So come back to this truth. This is your only protection. To meddle no more with them forever. So shall Yahweh lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. This is the worst trouble that we have ever been in, all right, in human history. Jeremiah 30 and 7. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled against you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with those things offered unto idols. All right, so they're going to take the people, right, that's sitting around looking for the government's help, right? I forget what movie it was or what quote it was. It said, if there's ever a time of crisis and there's FEMA or whatever type of government help that's been set up, do not go with them. So they're going to get the people that's looking for the help of their government, okay, and they're going to give them things offered unto idols, which is their MOTB, okay? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So even though you consent, you agree to take it, you're still going to catch hell. There's not 100% chance that this technology is going to merge with your body. They're going to off a lot of people, okay, with this technology, which they already been doing through the first step of making your body a living transmitter, right? A lot of people's body couldn't handle it. They needed a good host, right? You couldn't be too old, all right? You couldn't be too sick, okay? And ultimately, it's the will of the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. If you did take it, Can the Lord still have mercy on you? Yes, he can. Right? But you don't want to play with that, man. All right, so this is how we're going down. Just because you take that MOTB, it's not going to be all good. You're going to still get trodden underfoot. You're still going to catch hell. Esau is going to use it to send signals through you. All right. Hell no. All right. To control your mind. Okay. And if you don't act right, okay, he gonna torture you from the inside. I forget what movie that was, bro. It was a female. She had took it. Man, that movie's gone. I don't know what happened to that movie, but it show you in that movie, man. I forget the name of that movie. Exactly their plans and their plots. Okay, and this ultimately what the Lord is gonna have to step in and stop. All right, from Esau really fully implementing this MOTB system. Okay, or this transhumanism system. Okay, which is made possible by the charagma. All right, so real quick, let me see. I'm gonna jump over to 7 minutes. All right.
If they could list their goals, to understand your thoughts, to control your thoughts is at the top of that list. And so this is like the ultimate weapon in being able to control and manipulate your thoughts. They've really, in many ways, achieved this. No?
God complex.
Absolutely. And here's the profound aspect of this. The last frontier is the human mind. Once you conquer the human mind, then you have absolute control. And part of Project Artichoke...
And that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has done since we're born. Our minds have been controlled. Esau wants this power to take us, the Israelites, from doing the will of the Lord to doing his will, like robots. This is, okay, yep. This is Proverbs, all right, 20 and 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? All right, let's go here. Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. So the kings, the leaders, right, of this day and back then also, right, it don't change. Heart, which is their mind, is in the hand of Yahweh. As the river of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord control the king's mind and he control the people's mind. Right? What is this? Jeremiah. Is it 16 and 10? Or is it Ecclesiastes? Yeah. Okay. 6 and 10. All right, let's see real quick. It's Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. And it reads, okay, that ain't it, what I'm looking for. I have to find it. But it's all right. It's going into the same direction. All right. As the Lord controlling the mind. All right. Okay. So let's go back. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I know I just did that. But okay, that's why. Alright. Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. All right. Ecclesiastes 6 and 10 in NLT. All right. Everything has already been decided. It was known long ago what each person would be. So there's no use arguing with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua about your destiny. All right. So that's what's going on. But Esau want to tap into the Lord power. That's why the scripture said he sit in the seat of the Most High, thinking he is the Most High. All right. Let's go to that. 2 Thessalonians 2, and let's see. All right. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, or that is worshipped. You see, Esau want to be worshipped as God. Okay. So that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So Esau, he's sitting in the temple of the Most High. He's painting himself as God, and he's showing the world that he has the power of God through controlling the mind. All right, that's like you said, that's the last frontier. Okay, that's the last big obstacle that the so-called white man has to hurdle in order to take control. That's why the scripture says that when he's about to fill his belly, when people are taking the MOTB, all right, that's when Esau's kingdom going to come to an end, because only so far he's going to get in those stages of mind control. All right. Let's see. Yep.
Not only were they looking for ways to erase memory sets, imprint memory sets, they were using drug therapies, electrical shock therapies, they were using forms of hypnosis. And my background in this journey, and
all right, let's go back.
Understand your
absolutely, and here
in being able to control and manipulate your thoughts. They've really, in many ways, achieved this. No.
Absolutely, and here's the profound aspect of this. The last frontier is the human mind. Once you conquer the human mind, then you have absolute control. And part of Project Artichoke, not only were they looking for ways to erase memory sets, imprint memory sets, they were using drug therapies, electrical shock therapies, they were using forms of hypnosis. And my background in this journey, and I became a master hypnotist for that specific reason. Because in order to understand your enemy, you have to understand how they think and why they do the behaviors or processes that they do.
Esau been studying this stuff for a long time, man. A long time. Esau has this God complex that we always talk about. All right? He want to take over in wickedness. Okay? So let's see.
The ground.
If you're so profitable, why do you sell a course? Well, you know what? Here you go.
Right here
I don't
out the
care.
way.
It's all free. I'm giving it away. We have like 6 different courses in here. The same strategies that made me a full-time trader. And we have like...
I encourage all of our viewers to go back and watch that interview that we did before, because even 6 feet under the ground as COVID victims were in the ground in caskets, they were still sending off this signal. Their bodies were still emitting this like Bluetooth signal. So maybe you can just walk us through like the mechanics of how these agents are injected with it, given this, and then manipulated by it.
Yeah, I can actually answer that. So when we interviewed him, he talked about an earlier technology that was instituted on him. He had a dental implant. It was the older tech. And I said, well, is it transmitting now? Why didn't you have it removed? And the reason he didn't have it removed, because he's working towards this lawsuit issue and looking for damages. But it was an amplifier type technology. So you send a radio frequency to it and it would amplify what was being transmitted. Now, when we look at the nanotech, and we talked about what Dr. Ido Bachelet demonstrated in a 1cc syringe, there was really 1 trillion tiny robots in it that he had just brought from his lab. In it is, in this technology, in order to make it work, is graphene oxide and silicon materials. And we know this based on a study that was done in 2 years prior to anyone else by Dr. Robert Young. He had a published study, and I can share that with you.
You hear what these Edomites, bro? You know what the Edomites doing? All right, and these other nations, they getting into it too, bro. There's some high level, deep, right, wickedness. All right, just taking the word physician to another wicked level, right, to control human beings, right. Again, Esau got a God complex, turning humans into Bluetooth signals where they can connect the people to the Internet of Things and have the Internet of Bodies in them, right? And anything that has connected to the Internet can be controlled and manipulated, all right? You see, Esau ain't gonna get that far, right? He has some type of level of control, but not to this level, all right? He got his, he talked about how he was, the dude on the screen was a high level, hypnotist, right? It's being done on certain levels. Even, I just watched the movie Manchurian Candidate, right? So they've been on this type of time of controlling and manipulating. Now they want to do it, they want to have total control, all right? Where there's no disconnect, where they can control in the speed of radio frequency. It's crazy.
You can disseminate it. And on page 6, 8, and 12 of it, not only does it, Dr. Young already had discovered that this graphene oxide was part of this process long before anyone else started studying the vaccines or what was in them. But he also discovered, and because of our work and our human subject trial,
all right, we're gonna stop right there. It's a lot of goodness in this video. We're gonna stop right there though. On that part, I'm gonna skip to this part over here. See what they say.
Is a article that was published in scientific reports, and it's a terahertz graphene on the stack patch antenna for the future of 6G communications. And in that article, it talks about how this system will communicate in the terahertz range to minute miniaturized implants, okay? And this is what he's...
You see? What is that little miniaturized implant that these 6G gonna communicate with, all right? Through the geo that's in your body, that's emitting the Bluetooth signal to connect to that device, which is your body. It's the MOTB, bro. Revelation 13 and 16, and he, which is these Edomites, storm with these Edomites, so-called white people. He caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Right hand or in their forehead. You already got the forehead being done on human patients. And that no man might bar or sell, say he that had the mark in the name of the beast in the number of his name. All right. And I typed in, man, on DeepSeek AI out about this whole setup they got going on. It's deep, right? The Internet of Things, the radio frequencies, the fourth industrial revolution, how it all tie in together. All right. And they give out the whole spiel, right? So let's see what else we got. Matter of fact, I might end it coming soon.
Everywhere. And this is why we know, and I've been following you, Clayton, very closely, and you've been right on target with this topic. Every single human being out there is now a node. If you have this in you, you are part of the integrated Internet of Things.
You see?
We are.
I'm trying to tell you, and what we warning the prophets sent from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, warning of this big major event, this life-altering event, and don't take it. If you take it, Revelation 14 is the whole system he's setting up around us. All right, to where he's going to create the problem to have the excuse to bring in this supposed peace and safety. Right? Revelation 14, 9 and 10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, no mercy. You're going to get destroyed with no mercy. Right? In the cup of his indignation, he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lord. So mainly here in America, and if you're in the land of Israel, is going to be this thermonuclear destruction, this fire. All right. If you're on the shores of America, you're going to be tormented with this fire for taking an MOTB. Ultimately, judgment. Okay. That's the ultimate judgment, though. All right. So your ass is grass either way it go if you take this MOTB. If you last that long to the fire, or if you don't, you're going to get destroyed. All right. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever for a long time. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. All right. So yeah, this MOTB ain't gonna come with a peace and safety. All right. And all these conveniences that Esau is lying about. Okay. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. You can watch the rest of that video. Very good video. All right. I'm pretty sure brothers already did lessons on it. But I'm going to end it off by giving all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Chakadash, Barakatham, Shalom.